So, this month I decided to resurrect a long-dead hobby of mine, photography. Now, if you don't already know, I take a lot of pictures, like this, and this, and this, and this, and you get the idea. But the thing is, a lot of those pictures never seem to go anywhere. Like, they're just piling up on my hard drive, and that's a real shame. So, starting today, every day, I'm going to upload a new picture to Flickr at full resolution with a Creative Commons license. And I dare say I could keep this up for a few years. This actually came out of a conversation I had with my housemate, who thinks that Flickr is dead. He didn't give any further elaboration on why he thought that, but it is at worst dying. But still, I sort of feel like I missed the boat when I could have uploaded all these pictures 5 years ago. If you look at my Flickr account now, it has just over 100 photos, and as you can see from the dates on most of them, they were uploaded during school holidays when I actually had some time free. I don't know, that's either because of schoolwork or just that I was lazy, but I'm gonna change that now. 1 photo a day, indefinitely. Okay, so, I haven't been doing much writing lately, but I've been reading. One story that's on my mind right now is called Harry Potter and the Nightmares of Futures Past. Yes, I know, fan fiction, but this one is supposedly quite good. It's 400,000 words long, that's 1.5 times longer than the longest Harry Potter book, and this is generally seen as one of the best in a category that contains hundreds of thousands. But here's the thing. At first I wanted to like it, but then it just... Let me explain from the top. So the story starts with Harry Potter at age 30, who has only just managed to kill Voldemort, but all his friends are dead. That's when he invents time travel, which allows him to send his memories back in time and become his 11-year-old self again, right before he started Hogwarts. Now this, of course, this has a lot of potential, this idea of what could he do differently, what would he try and do the same. So, what does Harry do with all his knowledge of the future? Well, he doesn't want his friends to die, so he trains them to be really good at fighting dark wizards and generally just better versions of themselves, while coming up with a plan to stop Voldemort from ever returning in the first place. And he never makes any mistakes, and he never encounters any challenges that he can't handle. And you know what? I enjoyed reading that for a while, but then it got tiresome. Like the bit... I'm gonna spoil a bit of it here, but the bit where Harry and his 5 Gryffindor friends, Ron, Hermione, Neville, Ginny, Luna, who was originally a Ravenclaw, but in this one she's a Gryffindor because Gryffindors are just better, I suppose, managed to defeat the Basilisk just by firing blindly like this. Defendo, 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 defendo! And then finishes it off with the roundhouse kick. I know, the Basilisk was built up as a credible threat in the original books, and then this time they deal with it like it was nothing. You know, I still do most of the time, when I read a book or hear a story in any way, that I tend to want the good guys to do as well as they possibly can. But in situations like this, where they don't even have to try, they just win all the time, and it's not... There's no tension in that story, it's just predictable. Like, the only thing unpredictable about this story is how predictable it ended up being. Except that he sometimes has nightmares, hence the title. So usually they're about his past life, and about how all his friends died. But there's this one scene when he's staying over at the Weasleys, and he's confronted by Dumbledore, who says that, you have meddled with causality. I am so sorry, Harry, but I must do this. And he erases Harry's memory, but it backfires, and he explodes, killing both of them, and taking all the Weasley household as collateral damage. And I was like, fuck yeah! Like, do you realise, after that happened, then, like, the only main 3 good guys would be Neville, Hermione, and Luna. So, you know, them 3 against Voldemort would actually be a fair fight after all Harry's done to train them up. But then... dream sequence. So disappointed. You know, never before have I wished death on a child character what is it about this story that's making me do this? And I think I already said it, the good guys, they win way too easily. Sometimes it hurts to see your favourite characters fail all the time, but it keeps you invested in the story. So that's an important thing to know as a writer, not to be too nice to your characters. Because if I hadn't learnt from his mistakes, there's quite a good chance I would have made that mistake myself. If anyone actually knows the story in question, then maybe you can tell me in the comments below whether you think my critique is fair or not, because I'd really like to get a sort of dialogue going with this. And I know I don't really have the viewership for that yet, but it has to start somewhere. Someone has to be brave enough to make the first comment. It could be you. And the other thing I wanted to tell you about is I started putting my short stories online. So from Creative Writing Society last year, I came up with quite a few of those. They're mostly like flash fiction length. I said flash fiction, not slash. You know, only a couple of 100 words. You might like some of it. It's mostly available on my DeviantArt page, link in the description. And that's about all for now. This time, I'm not going to ask you to subscribe. I'd just like you to say something in the comments, because I'd like to start a little conversation, and I'll see you in October.